So, first of all, I want to thank NorthPoint Executive Suites for hosting us. This is our second visit to, I'm a tenant at the Alpharetta location, and so we're happy to be invited to share what we talked to the folks over there about a month ago. So I want to thank Kathy and Rick and everybody else for being such great allies to MyMobileLyfe, our company. They've been basically, they were our first client over 12 years ago. So they've been friends of ours for a long time. So grateful to be able to continue the partnership. I really like showing that presentation, upbeat music, kind of get everybody into the mood. But I also like to showcase that all that was created using AI, and I was the one who created it. And if you guys don't know anything about me, I'm not very creative. So for me to be able to create something like that, is one of the prouder professional well, it's not that far, but it's pretty cool that tools that allow you to do super creative things are very easily accessible now, and the learning curve isn't great. So a lot of the things that you'll see today are, as far as the presentation is concerned, were created using AI tools. So just keep that in mind. So this is welcome to our webinar series, Transforming Your Work, How to Implement AI into Your Professional and Business Life. Again, I'm Rick Hancock, and that's my partner up there. He usually makes visits here. Mike is in lovely New Hampshire right now on assignment. So he's in New Hampshire. But he's controlling the turntables. I'm making it look like I'm, doing stuff here, but I'm really not. Mike is the wizard making all the magic happen today. We've been in business for about 12 years. We started off as a digital marketing company. We do a ton of things. We first started as a digital marketing company in Metro Atlanta, and now we've been providing digital marketing services and a host of other digital communication services around the globe, working for large companies like IBM and the Weather Company to companies like NorthPoint. So we go across the board in providing services. And most recently, we have started obviously in the AI space, and we're very, very excited about the opportunities and possibilities for everybody to grow their businesses in that space. So here's the big promise. The big promise today, if you pay close attention, is that a properly integrated AI will make you more profitable, productive, and powerful. I promise you that. And I want to introduce you to our other presenter of the day. This is OC. OC is our newest member of the MyMobileLyfe family. OC is short for one click, and we will get into that in a little bit more detail. Again, those are tools. That little animation was created using, first of all, before we go any further, how many are dabbling already in AI? I mean, how many you kind of doing some things in it and you're just trying to figure out, okay, all right. Others are just, I have no idea what the heck is going on yet. Okay. Yeah, well, I think not to go off script too much, but I do want to have a conversation. If you're doing Google searches every single day now, right? You're noticing that it's not the returns that you're normally getting, it's the AI. So these companies are slowly integrating AI into our lives every day. So we're advocating that you get on top of it as a business owner, than it just kind of gobbling you up and trying to figure out along the way. And I think that this presentation and anything you can do, any way you can learn, I highly encourage you to do that. So our agenda for today is going to be multifold: why AI strategy matters more than ever in 2025, and what a chief AI officer does, and why most companies don't have one, and how the one-click CAIOs, you saw OC, one click, get it, OC, one. Look, I wanted to be a comedian growing up, but I'm now a business owner, so I don't know if one led to the other. So we're going to show you what's possible with low-lift AI tools and how to get started without hiring a full-time executive. I promise you, this is my favorite slide. This is my favorite slide, and you're going to see why in a second. To get the most from this, you must focus. See that little jiggle? Take lots of notes and participate. Mike spent hours creating that transition right there. He wanted to make sure that everybody saw his little jiggles there.
Thank you.
So, but seriously, why do you need to take action now? As the notes say up there, over half of the world's businesses are exploring AI. AI is projected to contribute 15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030, and AI might eliminate 85 million jobs, but at the same time create 97 million new ones. So, I'll repeat this over and over again. AI isn't something that's going to happen in the future. AI happened yesterday. It happened yesterday. All this is happening as we speak. So why is implementation so slow? Overwhelming. There are over 50,000 AI tools to help with your daily task, and several new positions and jobs to handle those things. If you're on Facebook or any social media, you see, an abundance of AI can do this, or get this AI tool and do this and do, and some of them are great tools, some of them it's garbage, but how do you know? How do you decipher? That's the complexity that everybody's kind of dealing with right now. And we hope to be a partner in helping you find some solutions to that. So how is AI transforming business? Mike?
All righty. Thank you, Rick. So this, hopefully this is going to be the fun part of the presentation. So we want to show
wait, what are you saying? I wasn't the fun part?
Oh, you're doing good. You're doing good.
All right.
So we want to look at 5 different areas in which we're already using AI. We use these tools frequently throughout the day, and we hope after this you'll be inspired too and want to use these as well. Because if you're like us, and if you're like millions of other people right now, you're going to notice that this is already going to save you so much time. Not just you, anybody who works for you or with you. Just, one important thing, because I know a lot of people can be scared of this technology, because if things go as some people say, everybody's going to lose their jobs and it's going to be a scary world. But no, don't think like that. This is an extension of what you can do. It makes your people more valuable, and it leaves you more time for the important stuff, going out there, making new connections, making more money for your business. And it gives people a little bit of management capabilities too, because these tools in a way are like people. They're as good as the instructions that you give them, and different tools will give you different results, and you'll see some of that today. So first, let's start with conversational AIs, chatbots. So some popular tools for powering these are Dante, ManyChat, and there are several others too. So if you visit just about any website for any business today, you're going to see that little chat bubble on the bottom corner of the screen. And oftentimes, well, most times for this year, you'd probably be talking to a human, and that human would have to keep an eye on any chats coming in. And anytime they're keeping an eye on those chats is less time they could be doing other work. And it could be a hassle managing these things. So if you use one of these tools here, and we've used Dante for several chatbot projects, it trains off of your website. You simply enter your web address and it starts scanning your pages for information. You can train it with additional information, including frequently asked questions or any other insights you want. And then after a few minutes, and for as low as maybe $20 a month, you have your first level of customer service. And it's great for you because it's one thing you don't have to you don't have to babysit it throughout the day. You just wait for any issues to be escalated or any potential leads to come your way. And the next step from here, after text-based chat, you're going to interact more with human-like avatars. And when I say human-like,
I'm Rick Hancock. Well, actually, I'm Rick Hancock's clone, but the real Rick Hancock wanted me to tell you
the technology is improving. So again, as you might have gathered, that wasn't real Rick, but this technology is getting more sophisticated where the lag time in communication is getting less and less, and you're going to be interacting with human avatars probably sometime in the near future. So don't be afraid, but when you see it, you heard it here first. All right, next we're going to talk about LLMs, large language models, and this is probably most people's introduction to AI. AI has been around in some way, shape, or form for many years now. But when it re-entered the global conscience a couple of years ago, it was ChatGPT, making the news. Text prompts where you can type in text or now even speak it, and then you get a response back and you can hold a conversation. And there are many other flavors. If you're Google users like us, you have access to Gemini. If you're a Microsoft user like me, you notice Copilot was mysteriously installed on your OS, probably without your permission, but it's there. And if you're a little more adventurous, you might have used tools like Claude. And speaking of Claude, I want to show a brief example here because this was kind of my aha moment, that when it just dawned on me how much more productive these tools can make me. So just a little quick backstory. We do a lot of website development as part of our work for our clients. And oftentimes I'm doing data visualization. I'm taking basic data, basic charts, and turning them into interactive experiences. So in this case here, I'm taking that static image of a chart, just a simple chart totaling 12 months of data, and I want to make it into just a basically interactive experience. And when I say interactive, I mean you hover over the bars, it'll show a little tooltip and it'll show data for that particular point in time. And I give it very basic instructions. Use the coding language of the web, use this JavaScript library that I use. And you can see this happening in real time. And when I say real time, I didn't speed up this video at all. I wanted to find a way to, because I figured we have a lot of stuff to get to, but this is about 2.5 minutes of real time and you're seeing the work come together. So as I'm watching this, I'm noticing it's producing more than just that chart that you see in the upper left corner. It's working hard on something a little bit later what it was actually doing. But think of this, if you ask two people on your staff to do something like this for you, one person might do the bare minimum, somebody else might take a little bit more time, they might have a little more creative juice to them, and they'll put a little more effort into it. So still building here. So again, if you don't know what you're looking at here, it's a mix of HTML and JavaScript, which are basically the things that make the web go. It's the text and the code that produces what you see on the web pages themselves. So we're almost done here, I promise. And actually, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we're just looking at a quick preview right now. I'm going to take this and put it into a larger window just so you can see it all. 1 second. And already you notice what I alluded to earlier. There's a lot more here than just that single chart that I was trying to build. So there's the interactive portion. You can hover over data. That's pretty neat. And that's usually all I would get. If I fed this through ChatGPT, that's normally what I would get, but I'm getting so much more here. You see there's a drop-down filter that it built. You can change the style, you can change the color of the chart. and then it gives a little data breakdown further down the page. And notice again, I didn't ask it specifically to do all of this stuff. It's simulating human intelligence. It's kind of taking its own creative license to do what it thinks it needs to do to fulfill the task. So I found that pretty impressive. Plus, something like that would take me maybe 2 or 3 hours, and that's time that Rick would want me working on other stuff. So a lot of time savings that you're going to see there. Next, I want to talk a little bit about media content creation, which is something near and dear to us as marketers, as content marketers specifically. So if you're doing your own marketing, there's tools for everything that you need to get done, whether it's writing your blog content, writing sales scripts, generating social media posts and video scripts, or even generating AI-powered daily emails. There's tools for all of those things. Now, if you want to generate visuals for your content, you might have heard of Midjourney, Dolly, Sora. There's many, many more, and even the LLMs like Gemini have their own built-in capabilities too. But you enter text, you get an image that doesn't exist anywhere on the web, and the same for video too. So we're going to see a quick example from Midjourney. Imagine you're making a marketing video. You want some background footage, some B-roll, as they call it. So we just ask for 2 guys shaking hands downtown. And there it is in a matter of seconds. You didn't have to hire any actors or directors or wait for a sunny day. So really, really powerful stuff. And it's getting better literally every week. And speaking of video and presentations, there are plenty of tools for collaborative video generation. You can upload an avatar. You can generate your own avatar based on your own voice and your own video. And you only got to record yourself once. So if you found there was a typo in your script, or if you wanted to add something, instead of re-recording yourself, all you do is change the text and it regenerates. So let's look at text to audio briefly. If you're ever in need of any translation services or narration for your videos.
This is perfect if I want to create an audiobook to publish or sell.
You want to change the voice?
This is perfect if I want to create an audiobook to publish or sell.
And say if you have some customers in Europe.
I fuoricampo di ieri non vincono le partite di oggi.
And one more time, just because we're showing off.
Den som inte riskerar något riskerar ännu mer.
And just to bring it all home, we want to show you a little bit lengthy, not too lengthy, few-minute demo of one of the tools that we looked at here, Descript, just to bring it all home.
So these nuggets are made from chicken, but they're made to emulate the taste of like non-chicken nuggets. So these nuggets are made from chicken, but they're made to emulate the taste of non-chicken nuggets. Dope. Let's boost that sound quality. Emulate the taste of non-chicken nuggets. Emulate the taste of non-chicken nuggets. Dope. Non-chicken nuggets. Non-chicken nuggets. But they're made to emulate the taste of vegan nuggets. Sounds tasty.
And hopefully the food you have today is a little bit better than that.
Yeah, hopefully.
And one more thing quickly along the lines of content creation. This is a tool called Gamma, and every time we show this, there's usually 1 or 2 people in the audience that'll just go and sign up for the service themselves. But if you want to generate your own presentations, your own PowerPoints, what you're looking at is Rick creating a PowerPoint in a matter of seconds. So we want to make a presentation for selling executive office furniture, and this presentation is for our sales team. You just give it a simple text prompt. You're watching as it builds the outline. And at this point, you could change slide titles. You could change actual copy that appears. And then when you go to hit generate, the magic starts to happen. And you see a little tool or words in the bottom talking about credits. Usually a lot of these systems, they either charge you monthly or you kind of pay per use.
That was
So
free.
in this case, we
this is
limited
free.
on the
This was free, and you get 480 credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're watching it here in real time. This is being created. and you could export this into to your preferred tool, whether it's PowerPoint or something else. And we actually use Gamma to build parts of this presentation that you're looking at today. So
it's
again,
one of my favorite tools.
yes, because Rick no longer needs me to create his PowerPoints, and I appreciate that very much. All right, fourth item, personalization. So this is connected to marketing too, but personalization in AI could be providing live translations and captioning for your webinars and web presentations. You can record yourself once and make personalized videos for everybody in your database. So you could use their name. You can have it record in their native language if they don't speak your language. Just record yourself once and let it go. And the same idea for voicemails. You can do automated voicemails drops, and each recipient will hear something with their own name in it, and they'll be more likely to be interested in it. So very cool tools there. And last, and what we think is most important, is taking your workflows, taking the complicated things you do every day and breaking them down into their elemental steps. And then from there, we could figure out, do we have AI do this? Can we have automation do this? What needs to be reviewed by a human? So that's what we mean by workflows. One tool that we use, I use this every single day, is Zapier. So what you're looking at is a visual representation of a workflow. This waits for an email to hit your Gmail inbox. It matches a certain search criteria or keywords in the subject line of the body. It sends it over to ChatGPT, where it drafts up a response, and then it saves that response back in Gmail, where you can review the email, edit it, and then send when you're ready. Here's another platform called Make, and you're going to see it does the exact same thing. So what's happening here, these are simple drag and drop interfaces where you can connect thousands of different applications that you may use throughout the day or week. All you have to do is pick them from your palette, log in to connect them, just set a trigger, what's going to initiate this workflow, and then you're good. You don't need to know any scripting. You don't need to know how to use APIs. You don't even have to know what API means. So it puts a lot of power in your hands, and you'll save so much time. You and your people will be so much more productive just by using these tasks. If you think about this, if you spend 2 hours reading emails and responding to customers every day, and this will save you almost all that time. But say it saved 1 hour a week or 1 hour a day. That's 5 hours a week, 20 hours a month. And you multiply that by whatever your time is worth. And anything you invest in AI is going to pay for itself pretty quickly, we think. Now, say you don't want to go through the trouble of building those workflows. You just simply explain your workflow in a text prompt, and a system like this will take it. It'll break it down. It'll find the proper program for that step in the workflow, and it'll do all the work for you. So those are just that might have been a lot. Those are just a few of the many tools that are out there. As Rick said, over 50,000 tools, more every day. We're building some of our own, and it's just it's a great new world out there. So
yeah, thanks, Mike. Great presentation. Take a deep breath, right? Oh, the roller coaster is about to go even higher, because what I want to spend the next couple of minutes as we bring this home and stay within our time limit, to take what Mike just explained and showcased, and put it how these tools are literally being used and deployed. Again, for those that weren't in the room earlier, this isn't like next year kind of stuff or next week. This is like AI. The AI future happened yesterday, right? It really is. And I'm not trying to scare anybody. It's just the reality. To emphasize that point, I wanted to play a slide, a video of Mike and I are certified AI, air quote, consultants, experts, so-called, but the group that helped train us and help mold us and help really show us the vision, we meet with them regularly. And recently they had a podcast that I wanted to take a couple of minutes of that podcast and share with you. So this is, high level stuff, but it's everyday practical. And I think that taking what Mike just said, and did you guys embrace some of the stuff that he was talking about? It seems very, very overwhelming, some of it, but it seems also like, hey, I can implement this into my workforce, into my business. So I want you to listen to this clip. because Peter Diamandis, one of the most visionary AI experts and investors in the world, really crystallizes it in ways better than I can say it. So Mike, play this.
Another area is the emergence of robots. AI is going to embody these robots. There are now actually well over 100 of these robots. They're doing extraordinary. You've seen Optimus. And here is Figure, Brett Adcock's company.
I'd like you to use your new Helix AI and try to reason through where you think they belong in your scene, and then work together to put them away. Does that sound good?
And then you've got Neo. And all of these companies are basically going to be AI companies with a physical manifestation in the form of a humanoid robot. Apple and Meta are both working on robot designs. In China, we see a lot of robots under development. This is Engine AI out of Shenzhen. And this is Unitree. And of course, we've got these robots, the Cybercab coming. I should mention a couple of important points in the robots. Both Brett Adcock and Elon predict their price of their robots when they sell them will be $20,000 to $30,000, which means you can lease it for $300 a month, which is $10 a day, which is 40 cents per hour. The other key point you should know is that their prediction, both of them line up, that we'll have about 10 billion humanoid robots by 2040. So if I asked you if they were really, $300 a month, $10 a day, how many humanoid robots would you own, right? You can just do that math. We're going to see robotaxis released in the US, and it will very quickly dominate, I think, over Waymo because of the price point and the efficiencies. We're seeing flying cars, Archer Aviation, and probably about 20 other flying car companies. Joby and Archer are the main ones here in the United States. And then we've got drone delivery. Check out Zipline.
I cut my finger making lunch, so I placed an order for some Band-Aids a couple minutes ago, and now they're 4 seconds away. That is a nearly silent drone system that can deliver a package from the sky right to my backyard in as little as 2 minutes with dinner plate accuracy. And as far as I'm concerned, that's basically teleportation.
All right, one more topic before we turn to your questions, which is important, and it's the notion that AI plus ubiquitous communications plus sensors are going to change everything. What do I mean by that? Well, SpaceX has 7,000 on its way to 12,000 satellites. You're going to have 100 megabit to gigabit connectivity every place on the planet, right? I'm on T-Mobile, so I can get texting service and soon phone service over my iPhone. 5G this year will reach about 3 billion users on the planet. But that's not the exciting part. Yes, everyone's connected and everything is connected all the time, but we're heading towards a trillion sensor future. What does that mean? Well, it means that we're going to have hundreds of thousands of satellites that are imaging the Earth at meter and sub-meter resolution. We're going to see tens of millions of drones and flying cars imaging the Earth at centimeter and millimeter. We're going to have these smartphones, autonomous cars, robots, wearables, smart homes, all of these things. We're heading towards a future where there's sensors everywhere, measuring everything, dribbling that data and those bits back to the AI ecosystems out there. And so what that means is that you're going to be able to know anything you want, anytime you want. So for example, if you're in the fashion business, you could ask the question, hey, what's the average spectral color of a man's blazer on Madison Avenue today? The cameras are there, the analysis is there, the data can be gathered, your AI can look at it, and then you can start to say, Does it correlate with any kind of an advertising campaign that was recently had? Right? You can start to ask questions that you could never ask before. So I go back to what I said early on with that curiosity mindset. It's critical for us to start asking great questions. We have to unleash ourselves to think about asking questions we would never ask before. You know, Ray Kurzweil said, we're going to experience as much change in the next decade as humanity has had during the entire past century. So 2010 to 2035 is going to be the equivalent of the change between 1925 and today, right? So are you ready for that speed of change? We're living during the most extraordinary time ever in human history. It's the most powerful time to be an entrepreneur and to utilize AI. And with that, Kane, I'm look forward to some Q&A.
Brief Q&A, then we'll come back.
The question is where do we want to evolve to? What would we be doing with our time? What would we be doing with our creativity and our intelligence?
Yeah, so this is, you know, I'm working on the final chapter of Age of Abundance with Stephen Kotler. And we talk about this as the survival guide for the age of AI. And one of the most important unsolved issues is purpose. Right? That's why I started with mindsets. So if AI is able to do almost anything and everything, we have to learn to up-level our purpose in life. We have to go bigger. We have to really look to extraordinary moonshots. We have to dream more than we've ever dreamt before, because we are as gods and we're enabled that way. And it's going to be, I'm not worried about humanity transitioning through this period. The only concern is the speed at which the transition is occurring. So I think about this a lot, and it is exciting and it is scary. I'm listening, I'm watching all the notes come by.
Well, and just speaking of Peter, that's what this community is really dedicated to, right? So the origin of this community, and everybody here listening, is how can we serve and support humanity in that transition, right? Because it will be a human-to-human service to help people transition. Some people are very terrified. Some people are very overwhelmed. Some people are excited. Everybody's in a different emotional state, and this group of people that you're speaking to today has really gotten committed to serving people in that transition. So let me jump into a couple of questions. Your statement that's we all love, which is that by the end of the decade, there'll be two types of companies: those who fully use AI and those that are out of business. Do you still believe it's a, you know, to the end of this decade, or do you see it?
Good question. Yeah, it's faster than that. What's happening, though, of course, is AI is being incorporated into everything. It's being incorporated to all of the tools that we currently utilize, and it's just a matter of what really is interesting is the birth of AI native companies. Retrofitting existing companies is hard, but the competition isn't another large traditional company with AI being plugged in. It's the 22-year-olds coming up with a new, completely crazy strategy that's disruptive because they're basically AI native to the challenge.
Yeah. Next question is, so with this community, a lot of the work that they're doing as consultants outside of strategy and helping companies get clear about how to implement AI is really working with the staff and the teams and helping them starting to embrace the entire concepts. And for those that are not kind of at the forefront like we all are and we understand opportunities, there is a lot of concern and fear. So the question that's being asked here is, how do we best advise workforces with all this disruption? How do you think we could encourage people in a positive way?
Yeah, so I think about this a lot, and you're the tip of the spear for a lot of these companies. I advise these companies to find what I call a chief AI officer who's plugged in at the senior level, talking to the CEO, talking to the leads at each level, helping them understand what tools are available to them and how they think about it. I think the challenge is that most everybody defaults to the same way they've always done everything. It's really hard to get new habits. And so the most important thing that you can support traditional companies on is learning new habits. It's forcing them to, like, for example, at a minimum, during a board meeting or during an executive meeting, have your favorite large language model open and asking the large language model the same question that you're asking your executive team. One of the things I love is, we don't know how to think other than the way we know how to think. I mean, it's sort of a truism, but, imagine you're a company that's facing some competition and you go to a large language model and say, okay, here's my business, here's our business model, here's what we're doing, here's the competition. How would Steve Jobs solve this problem, right? And all of a sudden, you're getting a completely different perspective than you ever got before. It's unleashing people to think differently that way. The other thing, of course, is getting the company's leadership to begin to self-educate, and it's like, get a habit of 15 minutes every morning. Ask it to prepare a curriculum for you and teach you something for 15 minutes every morning. These AIs are the world's most patient and deep teachers on a subject they know extremely well. So how do you get into those habits? So it's transforming habits and beginning to utilize these tools.
All right, so pretty deep in depth. Hopefully you got something out of it. I thought it was important to kind of share that, to, again, put that in really deep, everyday happening context right now. So one of the things he mentioned Peter mentioned the last thing was the role of a chief AI officer. Mike. So what is a chief AI officer? You can read what it says on the screen, but if you go on LinkedIn right now and look for companies are desperately looking to hire chief AI officers at $300,000, $400,000, even $500,000 a year, because there's such a critical need for organizations to have that kind of person on their team. So it aligns AI with business strategy, audits, readiness, oversees responsible, ethical AI use, breaks silos to scale AI across the businesses, track AI performance with clear KPIs, and champions culture, trust, and adoption. Mike, okay. So most companies have a CEO. You could be, I'm the CEO of my company. We have Mike, who's the COO. We have other companies have CFOs and CMOs and all the C's, but that empty chair right now is that chief AI officer. But a lot of companies don't have that role, don't have that position, and they are looking to try to figure out how to fulfill the functions and needs, the understanding of how that AI can fit into their life, into their work life, the professional life. So full-time, very costly, mentioned $300,000, $400,000. Mike and I can become consultants, business consultants for small and medium-sized businesses. We'll pay just for consultation $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month just to provide a plan, a roadmap. I can talk to 100 people. And I know if I'm talking to 100 people, there might be 2 people in that room that are even close to being able to tap into tier 1, tier 2. Most folks, 98 people walk out the room, they're unhappy. I got tired of seeing that. Like, why are these people have a problem? I'm an entrepreneur. You guys and gals are entrepreneurs. We're in the business of solving people's problems, right? So we wanted to kind of figure out a way to help solve people's problems at, heck, if you want to pay me $500,000, I'll take it. If you want to pay me $30,000 a month, I'll take it. But the reality is most people in this position aren't even thinking of embracing or figuring out that they need someone of that, where they have to devote that kind of resource. You're just trying to figure out. I took an informal poll. Some of you just sticking your toe, just looking at it, say, okay, I want to, like, there's no way in the world you're going to make that level of investment right now. And I wouldn't advise you to do so until you really understood what it is that you need. Most of us, I know, we use QuickBooks. We all use CRMs. We all use some type of content management platform to get stuff done that we're familiar with, that we're comfortable. I like to use the example when I started our business 12 years ago. I used QuickBooks. It was just my email address and my password, and I went in there and I figured it out on my own. As we've grown and I needed more resources, we started running payroll, invoicing, and using QuickBooks as an example. I had to tap into more of the resources that QuickBooks provided for us, so we elevated our services through QuickBooks. Salesforce, accounting, all those things are very, very similar. So that's something that you're very, very comfortable with. Yeah, most people understand. So we've developed AI strategy now as a platform, and I think, Mike, you're gonna pick it up from here, right?
Yeah. So just to give you a quick look under the hood at what's in progress over at our labs. So we are working on a home for your one-click chief AI officer, place where you'll be able to log in. They'll know everything that you tell them about your business. They'll have all of our AI expertise, and you'll be able to interact with your CAIO right here in the platform. And along with that, we're going to be building in our vast prompt library. So you have some, if you don't know what to ask them, we'll give you a few ideas. You also find the latest news and video resources as well. So we are working diligently to bring this version of OC to you. But in the meantime, we'll show you what we have available today. So
Yeah.
Want to see the examples, Rick?
Yep. So one of the reasons I really wanted folks to sign up, because we built, for everybody that signed up already, we took, Mike had mentioned, we're building out the app, but we've already been building the app. And so someone here from Cochrane Immigration. Well, hi. Well, you and everybody else who signed up, and it's not too late, just sign that form so we know who your company is. All those things that we witnessed, all the things that Mike was talking about, all the things that Peter was talking about, we have consolidated that into an app that we've just taken publicly available information, and the mechanics of training an app is that you train it, you fine tune it with your information, the vast knowledge that we have as it relates to AI in all specters, plus our marketing chops that we've had over a decade. And we've trained this particular app to respond to your queries from your perspective. And we built, anybody who's already signed up, we've done from NorthPoint and a few other Sojourn, and so Helping Hands, some other folks in here. And if you didn't, we'd be more than happy to do that for you. No cost. We'll get into that in a minute. And so we've already pre-populated. So if you see some of the, can you read that?
Yes.
Okay, your eyesight's better than mine because I need this screen.
Hey, let me see if I can zoom in. Apologies.
Pre-populated with some things. Again, just so you know, but don't be scared. What we did, we just looked at your website. We just took information from your website. We took your privacy policies, and all that is now baked into, and we're fine-tuning this app. Mike, you went too fast. Go back.
Oh, I thought you were ready for that. I'm sorry.
Go back, please.
Okay, let me reload. New chat.
Okay.
Apologies.
And so your name?
Cindy.
Cindy. Okay, so Cindy, I'm gonna let you're gonna walk us through some things. So we've pre-populated some questions that you can ask, and it'll give you a response. And so is there any one of these particular four, or you can ask your own question, but I kind of figured that this might be relevant. And this is what kind of came back as we were training. These are some of the things that clients kind of ask, questions you may ask. So is there anything in particular here that you would like to at least begin a conversation with your AI bot?
I guess the third one is the one that I can read fully. So
Can AI help us spot patterns in RFEs or visa denials? That's a relevant question.
yes.
Okay, so Mike, go ahead. There you go. So again, this is now taking all the information that we publicly know about you. And I keep stressing publicly because we can further train it by, including other information that you may have. It's clearly protected. We get into that kind of later, but this is just publicly information. The AI has been able to very quickly, I don't know if you can read what it's saying. Okay.
You see it?
Does that kind of correspond with a type of response or coordination or information that you could produce, your staff, your team could produce with providing this kind of information and in this kind of speed though?
Yeah, I mean, it's very from what I
Right.
read, it's very like general information of what an RFE is and what causes it. An RFE is request for evidence. It
Mhm.
means maybe the immigration needs more evidence from the
Right.
packet. So it seems like very general information as to what causes an RFE. So
Okay. Okay. So Mike, go back to the or no. So if you said it's general, what would you ask? Like, because your level of expertise, like let's have a conversation. Let's dig into it. Like you're looking at this. What would you ask? What do you want to know? How would you want to present this information? Say you want to create a brochure, email campaign, or put something in a spreadsheet. Those are the kind of things, whatever you would want to do with this kind of information, you start having this conversation with the chatbot and this particular LLM to keep building upon, or we can start a whole new conversation.
Mhm. Well, I mean, the initial question that you asked it was, I think it was a very general question, of course. But if I were to move forward with trying to get more information from this, I'm sure that I would probably have to feed it some kind of spreadsheet as to what we did with certain types of examples,
Right.
where we got RFPs, what kind of evidence we submitted,
Right.
and what kind of evidence was available to us at the time.
Right.
So I'm sure it would have to be
Yes.
fed data for
Right.
it to then analyze the data.
Right. Okay. Great. So you told me you were really dabbling, but that's the mindset. That's everybody kind of following. That's kind of the mindset that you wanted. Let's go back to that homepage again, Mike. That first page. Let's do another one real quick. Sorry, picking on you, but this
Is that okay?
no, the initial page with the prompts, the conversation starters. Thanks. So well, are there ethical risks in using AI to screen potential? Let's go down that rabbit hole. Potential immigration clients. I mean, that's a reasonable question in this day and age right now. You know, any kind of public information data. So this is pulling from, again, we don't have a lot of proprietary or back-end documents. This is just stuff that we've taken from your website. But you know, this might be some good information to share with potential clients. Again, so let's chat with this. Let's ask it a question, and Mike will type it in based on what you're seeing. This is a quick exercise. I'm cognizant of everyone's time, but just so everybody can kind of see what's going on. Again, for everybody in here, have your email address, have your company. If you have an email, if you have a website, we will definitely build something like this for you to play around with. And we'll continue the conversation. So
it gives you two potential ideas at the end. And it invites you to continue the conversation that way, or you could just totally change the topic too. So
which one do you have one of those two, or you have something else you just want to see the conversation that you have?
Draft the governance policy that it's saying. That's fine.
Okay. The second one, Mike. Yep.
Wait, the AI governance policy.
Yep.
Okay. There it goes.
Again, this is just building off of what we know we have. And again, to your point, if there's other information, other documentation, other research, you may have presented something at a conference, you might have done a video, you could upload the video in there and parse that and incorporate that into your response. So it's a very flexible tool. You can create content, you can create video content, you can create a podcast, you can create a lot of different artifacts from this instance and more.
And these get stored in your account too, so you can always refer back to them.
Refer back to it. All right. So again, I want to save some time for other questions. So Mike, let's just
We'll
wrap.
go back to the
Let's just yep, thanks.
okay, 1 second.
So as I've mentioned a few times, we are building out the app. We're taking this to a higher level very shortly. We expect to have it, fully functional out in the market mid-May, early June. We've been developing the app. That's the beta that we're showing you. The platform itself will have a lot of other features, video prompts. We have a 52,000 prompt library. Prompts is the most important thing to put into your LLM to get the conversation going. We're going to have tutorials. We'll work with companies and training their staff in certain tools. So there's a lot. It's going to be a rich, very rich platform. Not just what we showed you, but that was kind of like the bells and whistles of the bigger LLM that we're working on. So for everybody, you and everybody else that we have, what we just showed you, we created one for everybody. We want you to use it for 2 weeks because we're also looking for feedback. We're building an app. We're trying to get feedback. We're trying to see, what's working, what people need, what type of features they're looking for, our workflow. So, Mike is working really hard. We're working really hard. So I have your email address. We'll send you that link to, the only thing you really need to have, and you can have the free ChatGPT account. You don't have to use the paid plan, just use the free plan. We'll send you the link and you can look through that. We'll be checking in, get some feedback, so 2 weeks, it's yours to free, yours free to use. Plus we're going to be sending you the 2 books that I've recently written on AI that will help you learn and advocate and educate yourself in not only just the dictionary, the words. There are a lot of words that people aren't familiar with in AI. And once you have a better understanding of the meanings, it will help you continue your education. And then also talking about this invisible AI chief officer. Every company needs one. It really is something that you should invest in because people like me and Mike can help guide your company as you're growing into the next steps that you need to embrace these tools because you're going to need to totally embrace them. All right, Mike. So again, we'll just so you know, moving forward, as we move forward in mid-June, July, this what it's, we're speculating that what I just showed you would be our entry level. Just like I used QuickBooks when I first started, I didn't have any assistance. But once you start playing around with the tool, you may or may not need us. But there might be some implementation. There might be some things that you need that will enhance the services that you need. But out the box, you're looking at maybe a $200 commitment to what I just showed you, what we just demoed. And I think it's a rich resource for you to build upon planning, executing, becoming more productive, and hopefully more profitable. So key takeaways: you don't need to hire a full-time chief AI officer. Strategic guidance can start now. Practical tools, prompts, and diagnostics are already available, and pricing scales with your needs. So that's the end of our presentation. But if you have other questions just unrelated to this, or just what you saw, or just other questions you may have about AI, I think we're good for another 10 minutes in here. So no questions. No questions. Someone has to have a question.
How is this different from like what other companies are doing, other more established, probably more reputable companies? Do we get more features? Do we get a deal?
I don't know what.
It's just a reskin of what other people are doing.
There's a lot of questions. So I don't know who you're comparing us to.
Well, just named a few of them yourself. ChatGPT.
Oh, well, we're not ChatGPT. So as I said, so have you? I guess we can begin by having a conversation. Yeah, we built the custom GPT off of ChatGPT, and I'm no apologies there. Like if you're going to use the best tool out there, it's just like you have a car, and you can kit it out. You can extend what you buy off the showroom and add other features to it. So as it relates to this particular tool, you could ask the same questions and get a different response because we have begun training this particular application to focus in on your particular industry, your particular company, layering it over the AI expertise. So it's not just where you go into a LLM, ChatGPT, and just ask it a question and it's just pulling from randomness. We've begun, and this is why this exercise would be very helpful for you to look at what we've created and use it, because it's going to be trained, continue to be trained on how you're using it, if you want to add additional proprietary information, that's up to you. If you just want to continue to use what's publicly available, that's up to you. But what's included and what's been up to us is that we've included it with a large amount of data as it relates to AI ethics, AI policy, tool suggestions for your particular company, geared towards your particular company. So we basically focused it in the beta using ChatGPT as our base, but we're building our own app. And that, if that was lost in the conversation, I apologize, but we're building our own application. We're beta testing. We're starting this out. And so we started it using ChatGPT because that's the largest, and it gave us a lot of resources to pull a lot of different information sources in. So are we competing with ChatGPT? Not directly, or any Llama or Gemini, which Google owns, or anything like that. But how you train it, and that's how people get the benefit of using these tools, training it for your use, for your specific use. I don't know if that answers your question, but that's.
So couldn't we just train our own cheaper AI? Like 300 seems kind of insane.
No, I'm okay.
I mean,
No. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, you could. Yeah, I mean, you could do anything. I mean, we want to help, but it's not just training. There's a lot of different things that goes into the AI space of understanding. If you have that level of sophistication and you can lead your organization to do that, as I said, I mean, that's great. I'm not diminishing your ability to do that. Not everybody has that ability to do that for themselves or for their teams. There's a lot of folks out there that are looking for that assistance, but there's also a lot of folks. Look, I prefer talking to you than people who are scared and don't want to deal with it and just want to run away from AI. And you're saying, well, I don't need you, I can do it myself. That's good. Not everybody's like you.
What kind of sophistication does it really need? Because from what I've read, it's a lot less than what's actually presented.
Oh, I don't know what you read, my friend. I don't know what you read. I don't know what you know. I don't know what you're in the context. What's your business?
Well, take away relative to my knowledge, how much sophistication does it actually take to train an AI? Just generally.
It depends on how you want to train it. There are basic trains. If you put actions and working with schemas and working with codes and bringing in APIs and bringing in that kind of information to train your bot, other than just taking public information, it does take some level of sophistication. But that's not the emphasis that I'm focusing on. I want people to grow however you decide you want to do it, however you approach it. Some people don't need handholding. Some people can do it on their own. I don't know the complexity of how deep you've gotten into how to build one. Let's work together. I'm giving it to you for free for 2 weeks. You tell me how you want to train or how you're going to train it, and keep it moving. You don't owe me anything after that.
I guess I'm just trying to see, like, because when new technology comes up, generally what happens is you have merchants come out that sell the same thing in a different skin, with no actual, like, what's it called, definitive difference, or what's called. That's what tends to happen with like all technology.
Yeah, they put a wrapper around it.
So I'm thinking, I didn't see anything special.
Well, as we said, we are building our own proprietary app.
Yeah,
I've said that several times. We're building our own proprietary app, but any software company iterates, and so we're showcasing what we're doing before we get to it, because we want to improve our app. We want it to be better, so we're testing it out with folks. If you think it's a watered down version of ChatGPT, that's your preference. We know it's not, and we can demonstrate that for people.
No, I really don't know, because I'm not familiar with this technology. I'm just letting you know what happened like in the course of humanity, and you know.
I'm a little bit older than you, so I've been
So-
I've been following the course of humanity and have been practicing this space for a long period of time. So it's the reason why I'm so passionate and advocate for people to embrace this. So this is a much better conversation to have with someone that is hopefully looking at the future and figuring out how to embrace it, and as opposed to folks who are running from it and don't want to even think about what the possibilities are of the future. But you know, as far as questioning, you know, if we're charlatans, no, we're not. I'm a very reputable. We're a very reputable company. Have been around for a bunch of years, certified in a lot of different areas, and have made significant amount of money doing this as a business. So I'm not, and we were very clear, been very clear in the presentation that we are building our own proprietary app. We are looking to improve it by having people test it at no cost to them. So, you know, you could be intimidated by and not find it in your budget. That's fine, but I'm not asking you to pay for anything. I'm giving it to you for 2 weeks. Try it out. You don't like it, you don't like it. You don't want to continue as we continue to grow the app, you don't have to. There's no obligation, and you get 2 of my free books.
Yeah, and I was just asking, I really don't know much about AI, so it's just general.
Well, I think a lot of people don't have the time that it would take to do all that work, so just like, you know, other people that you hire to help you with each other. Seems like that's the problem. To use that technology, that you may know some of it, but you may not really know how to even do it. So it's somebody to hold your hand a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, every company has most companies have people perform functions as CEOs, CFOs. Like, who in your company is going to be the person responsible for guiding your company through AI? If you want to take that challenge on and do that for your company, go for it. Now, Mike is the operation guy. He keeps the trains moving for our company. I'm the ideas guy. I'm the business development guy. We have a person who handles our bookkeeping, a CFO. I mean, so people have particular roles that they should perform. And if you're a competent company trying to grow, you want to make sure that you put the right people in place. Now, hiring a chief AI officer, quite frankly, is expensive. And so, you know, it's not cheap. Go look on LinkedIn. You know, if you're looking at a lot of different things of what people are rewrapping, I said, just go look at the marketplace. Look at what, you know, we listen to, what the demonstration. That's if you think that you can wrap all that we just displayed, and you have the expertise on your own to bring that culture into your company, then go for it. And I that's all I can, you know, really say.
Thank you for the free books and the free access. Look at it.
And free food.
So,
Thank you.
any other questions? So if you didn't, I don't know how we can communicate. If you have no idea what I'm talking about on the sign up, I don't know how we can re-engage if you guys hadn't signed up. What's the name of your company? Okay, yeah, I have your information. I'll send you the link. And what's so the company? Yeah, because I think your company couldn't find a website. Okay, so let's just communicate. If let's just communicate, because again, our promise was to create an app for everybody to use that attended. We're going to honor that, and you know, get the books out to you guys, and continue the conversation. And you know, love to get your feedback on what we've created so far, because as we move forward, it will be very, very helpful to what we're doing. So I appreciate your time and taking the time today to spend an hour and 10 minutes with us.
Thank you.